new era for San Francisco-based Twitter and a lot of questions from employees. Elon Musk officially taking the helm tonight. Good evening, I'm Sarah Donchie. So the world's richest man is now officially in charge of Twitter. After the news broke this evening, Musk tweeted out, "The bird is free." And you know what? He was very quick to make changes, namely firing people. He ousted the CEO along with the CFO, the top legal executive, and the general counsel. Tonight, Bloomberg reports Musk plans to take the role as Twitter CEO. As we've reported, this deal was not without drama. It had lots of twists and turns, so many changes. Did he, will he, won't he? And it all started back in January when Musk started buying up shares. Now, in April, he made his offer. 2 months later, he threatened to back out, and Twitter sued. Here we are now. Musk has acknowledged that he's actually overpaid for Twitter and will finance the $44 billion deal with $33 billion of his own money. But because he took out loans, the deal will saddle the company with about $13 billion in debt. And tomorrow, Twitter shares will be suspended, according to the New York Stock Exchange. And a big question, especially right here locally in the Bay Area, what will happen to its 7,500 employees? Some analysts say for many of them, it isn't looking good.
Elon Musk started his acquisition of Twitter really by doing a telling campaign instead of a listening campaign, right? He told them how the management wasn't doing the right job, and he told them how he didn't agree with a lot of the things they were doing and how bad a company they were. And so it's hard to imagine him coming in and suddenly giving everyone a bear hug and saying, "All right, let's get to work." I have to imagine it's going to be a pretty rough start.
So probably the best place for reaction about Twitter is Twitter. Makes sense. There's reaction to just about every headline on Twitter. So Andrea Nakano is here with us to talk about that. And that includes employee reaction, right?
Yeah, we spent tonight outside of Twitter headquarters as employees left the building. Many were understandably reluctant to talk about what happened, but we did catch up with one employee that did share a few words with us. He did ask us to not show his face or identify him by name. He expressed a sentiment that most Twitter employees are feeling tonight.
I don't know, I guess a little bit of job insecurity in a sense, especially with upper level corporate change.
We approached others about their thoughts on the transition as Elon Musk takes over the social media platform. Almost all just walked away without comment. There was a group of employees at the bar within the building, and as we can only imagine, the talk was about what happens next. Tonight, there are just so many unanswered questions. The employee we spoke with says he has received very little information about the transition and is waiting, just like many others, to see if he will remain with the company.
I think it'll be really interesting to see just how it all unfolds. As far as internal messages, we haven't really gotten much. Just, hey, it's a different change.
While many employees did not want to talk, there were a select few who decided to hop on Twitter to share their thoughts. The tweets were fairly vague and short. Olivia Naylor with Global Events at Twitter tweeted, "Me when anyone asks anything about Twitter related this week," with a video below of actor Nicholas Braun saying he doesn't want to think about it. So while the deal closed today answers some of the questions about who's now in charge of Twitter, it raises a whole new stack of questions about what will happen to the employees and the future of the social media platform. Sarah?
I imagine that is very stressful. And what about the rest of us, all of the people who use Twitter, some of us every day? Tech experts say we should be prepared for some pretty big changes.
He's made clear, for example, that he is going to reassess the way that lifetime bans work. And Donald Trump is the first name you think about when that happens. So, I don't know if it'll be immediate, but it's pretty clear President Donald Trump will probably be invited back on the platform.
Well, it certainly seems like a lot of people are talking about the deal tonight. At a town hall in Burlingame, Congresswoman Jackie Speier was baffled about the sink that Musk carried into Twitter headquarters.
Especially with Elon Musk and Twitter. Let's not go there. I still don't understand why he was bringing a sink into Twitter today. Did they ever explain that?
Let it sink in, sink there.
Oh, let it sink in that he was actually taking it over?